Good evening, XRP Future Millionaire here, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in at 7:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America and the great state of Michigan as we prepare for a possible 12 to 20 inch snowstorm here coming in Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see what happens because we have not had any significant snow as of yet this year as we're used to. But we still got all of February and March, and I look forward to listening to old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing for his updates. As you know, he is my brother. He just made partner, and I'm proud of him. So, some great news. And no, it's not that Ripple's leg up in the SEC lawsuit, as it strengthens fair notice defense. Even though you guys know we're not going to end this until minimum of November. We've shown you everything that goes into it. We know about the flip of the switch. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And if you're new to my channel, go check out the ISO headquarters. It's in the link in my video description below. It's my third station. It's almost to 700 subscribers. But I feel like it's imperative for everybody who's new to my channel to understand that I do in fact have a station. Let me go to my ISO. That I have a third station, the ISO headquarters. It's at 685 subscribers, but this is the kind of information I put in every single day. I do stuff about the ISO 20022. I do everything that needs to happen when it comes to... Oh, let me go to my page. But I go through everything you need to see with current ISO news. And I put a lot of work into this station, and it's growing rapidly. Been doing it about 3.5, 4 months. And I really do appreciate everybody who tunes in. The closer we get to the ISO, integrations and more businesses and corporations and banks and yada 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 are using it and incorporate the HTML, we'll be able to give you a wider landscape. I do that station, which is great. I have a second partnered station, that's the Swing Traders Anonymous, which is also in the video description below, but we'll get into that later. So this is what we want to go over. We're going to read through this, get over the technical analysis of the post-daily close of XRP, XLM, DGB, and Bitcoin. Might pop in Ethereum. I haven't made up my mind yet. I do all that on my Swing Traders Anonymous with the Bitcoin, Ethereum, the total crypto market cap, the Bitcoin dominance chart, the BITO, which is one of two Bitcoin ETFs, and then also Tether I cover. So, but I want to show you guys an improbable 9-player parlay I hit today on the first game of the AFC Championship. I had a 9-player parlay. I bet $11.86. It turned into $1,134.01, and it was plus 9,461. It's the biggest that I've ever hit at plus 9,461. There might have been one years ago that was like plus 12,000, but we're talking years ago. This is the first time in recent memory, but I do analytics, and it's not just on the charts, ladies and gentlemen. But to put it in perspective, I won $555, as you guys know, on like a $22 bet in the first round of the playoffs. I haven't won since, and there's been 11 different bets since then. And yeah, I took $400 out and I kept $145. So I was down to as you can see, I was down to my last $13 when I made this bet. Since I took that money out, I had made 11 straight losing bets. Some were close, some were real close. I'm talking like 10 out of 12 players or 13 out of 15 on one, but I lost a total of like $108. So it's not all glitz and glamour. So that's what I like to tell everybody when I show these. I've lost 11 times in a row on an average of $8 to $11 a bet. No more than $12, no less than $8. Because I try to pull off these big parlays. But now I won. I took out $1,000, and now I have $147 left to gamble with until I win again if I do. If not, I'm not opposed to throwing $50 or $100 on here, but I'm very conservative. I take out almost all of it. And now I have a plus... I have a bet with the Rams right now, but that's improbable. But so what I did was T. Higgins 50 or more receiving yards, Tyreek Hill 60 or more receiving yards, Jamar Chase 50 or more, Travis Kelce 60 or more receiving yards, Patrick Mahomes under 290.5, Joe Burrow under 288.5. And here's where the big money comes in. When you do things like I just did, over 250 but under 290.5 for Mahomes. Over 250, but under 288.5 for Burrow. Burrow hit 250 on the nose in overtime with that last pass. A lot of these, like Jamar Chase, had 54 yards. Tyreek Hill barely over. Higgins had a great game. So it was very close. And then I also had Mixon 40-plus yards as well. So it was improbable. So it was my bet so far today. I had two others that one was like a $6 bet and one was an $8 bet. They were even bigger odds for one of them, and the other one was just a stupid bet. Not a stupid one, but it was in case Cincinnati won by a blowout, because you get such extremely good odds by doing it like that with the underdog. But right now, I don't have anything. I have an improbable bet right now. Similar things. I think it's a 10-player parlay. So we'll see what happens. But I don't care. I already took my grand out. I'm very happy. So let's read this. Ripple's leg up in SEC lawsuit as it strengthens fair notice defense. And I am not a financial advisor. Should you take my advice? No. But I pay attention to what I'm saying and pay attention to what the charts are saying, because when I show you the charts, they speak to me. Oh, yes. So you must pay attention. So Ripple's leg up in SEC lawsuit as it strengthens fair notice defense. Excitement has recent ruling to compel the SEC to produce Bill Hinman's speech to Ripple. Fox Business's Charles Gasparino states that the ruling will help Ripple point out the SEC's bias to Ethereum. Other Ripple proponents also point out the ramifications of the ruling. A recent ruling in the case between the Securities Exchange Commission, SEC, and fintech company Ripple has been the subject of a lot of recent debate. Last few weeks, Judge Sarah Netburn ruled that the SEC had to provide several documents that the securities regulator had previously placed under deliberative process privilege, DPP. The ruling, which was in response to Ripple's motion to compel the SEC to produce documents it considers to be pivotal to its case, is being considered to be a mixed one, according to Fox Business's Charles Gasparino. Gasparino has stated that the ruling favors Ripple as Bill Hinman's famous speech in which he declared Ethereum and Bitcoin to not be securities. I have all of these in a previous videos, guys, including going way more in depth than this. And the drafts of the said speech, which were circulated within the commission, will be presented as evidence in the case. Mixed ruling for Ripple, but judge says all drafts of former SEC officials Bill Hinman's now famous speech on what constitutes a security will be admitted as evidence, he noted. What the ruling means for Ripple. This has been one of the outcomes that Ripple has been seeking and will be good for Ripple, according to Gasparino. The Hinman speech can be used by Ripple to point out the SEC's bias in favor of Ethereum. On the flip side of the ruling is the fact the SEC has distanced itself from the speech. The commission has established that the speech was the personal opinion of Hinman and did not constitute a regulatory statement. The significance of the ruling is still unwinding as more analysts have been weighing in. According to attorney John Deaton, who is leading the charge of XRP holders' participation in the case, one of the consequences of the ruling is that Bill Hinman will have to answer for making such a statement publicly at the time. Deaton points out that the SEC, by having Hinman sign affidavits that the speech was only his opinion, was leaving him exposed to legal action. Another point Deaton raised as a ramification of the ruling is that it strengthens Ripple's fair notice defense and can prove that SEC officials had a conflict of interest. A part of the ruling is for the SEC to produce notes from meetings held with third parties. He argues that these third parties are likely to include Joseph Lubin of Consensus, who Hinman consulted with during the build-up to his speech. The state of the case in Ripple's XRP at the moment. While the legal teams involved are ironing out their differences, the XRP community is waiting expectantly to see how the debacle plays out. The ongoing expert disclosure has been extended to February following a motion that cited concerns over blah, 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 and several previous delays in the schedule. As no clear end to the case is in sight, the price of XRP has continued to struggle. XRP is trading at 61 cents, down around 10% in January. So what we have to show right now, XRP, well, first Bitcoin, we're doing this real quick because I got to go take care of my son. You know, I'm doing everything. So Bitcoin, 37,644, down 242.44 since the close, down 0.64%. It closed under 38,000, which was a big close because we closed under a significant support resistance level at 38,464. But we managed to barely stay over 37,571 as we were a couple hundred over it. So under 38,000. So right now we've got the resistance at 38,464. We got support at 37,571. So we weren't able to make any headwind this weekend. We actually had a pretty porous close. It kind of shows that head and shoulders pattern continuing to round down from the top. But this is the bearish continuation in my pattern. But if you bring this out into a bigger scale, we're clearly on a head and shoulders pattern in the daily. So, I mean, it is what it is. We've already come down this far. You think we're not going to come back down to 29,212 to reconfirm this line, or at least 30,991. It seems ridiculous that we wouldn't at least come down to that big neckline right there. But eventually, we're going to have to come down to this accumulation zone of 9,629. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm also not going to give out FUD because I can see what's out in front of me and we can see what's going on. XRP, same deal. We had a terrible close on XRP. I know a lot of people were hoping to close over that 6048. It didn't happen. At least a lot of people in my audience were hoping it. It closed under that very critical support line of 60486, and these are precise numbers. Best in the business for a reason. I put these out so that everybody can see, and they all tell a story. If you're paying attention to my channel each and every day, you're going to understand better than anybody you know. So 60486 is that support. We're underneath it, so that's incredibly bearish that we're using that as resistance. I have a drop on the here. Let me put this right on this line because it's supposed to be equal for the most part to that support line. We have a continuation. What is this? We have like 43.9. We have the 42 cent area. It just all depends where you put that continuation, but we're going to go down there somewhere eventually. I think this next drop has to come down to at least, here, let me get this out of the way so nobody gets confused. I think this next drop has to come down to at least 52 or 48, but if we continue to the downside properly, that's a measured move, and that would get us to 43.912. I think eventually we're going to have to get down in this accumulation zone back to 32 cents and maybe even down to 12 cents. It all depends on the bigger scale of XRP. If we're going to come back down and touch this line down here and hit this accumulation, to me it would make perfect sense to hit this accumulation zone somewhere out in here if we had to come down here, or you stop in this zone and then you're trading in between here and then you would pop up and have a huge pump, or you'd, kind of go around in circles. But that's what we're going to have to come to eventually with XRP. XLM, and the chart's going to look pretty similar because it follows XRP until I tell you otherwise. So the close on XLM, again, under that critical 19,489. As you can see right now, I mean, we're at 19.36. We're down 0.99% or 0.0019. We really wanted to close over that 19.4 if you wanted any kind of short-term bullishness. But to me, it's clear as day what kind of pattern we're on. This is coming down. Even if we were to make some kind of a false move up, the volume is so bad with XRP, XLM, and most of crypto that if you want to move to the next levels, it just, folks, it can't happen like that. It just can't happen. I'm sorry about all the fun on YouTube. Fortunately, if you came from Derek, you at least get somebody who knows his technical analysis. Or if you come from Crypto Mentor 99, at least they know their stuff. But other than that, I don't see many people on YouTube that aren't fudding it up. And honestly, I can't believe I found 2 people that aren't fudding it up with how long I've taken. Vincenzo's Crypto Investing also won't fud it up, so go watch him. But this looks like a huge continuation pattern. So we have 19.4 resistance, 16.6 support. So you hear my son running back and forth laughing, so I'm going to go check them out. But we've got 2124 support, resistance, which we close on the bottom side, which is not a good sign, and then we have 1748 support underneath. Stay blessed and hit that like button.